You bring up a point here that I think is worth discussing. And do we want Donald Trump to be impeached?
Right.
I don't.
I don't. Yeah. No. This is like a tough conversation to have because he's appalling. But his incompetence is
helping us.
Right.
His incompetence is helping America to not become the wet dream of Paul Ryan and Michael Pence.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you know, if you think about what Mike Pence wants to accomplish and how he would be, here's the bad part. Mike Pence would be a breath of fresh air.
In terms of propriety,
in terms of sigh of relief, in terms of decorum, in terms of all those things.
Media relations,
right? Which would make it that much more difficult to stop his agenda.
Right.
Right. Right. Oh, what are the Democrats going to say to actually, besides the merits of the conversation? It doesn't matter about the merits of the conversation because he has a majority in the House and the Senate. What matters now, the way we're stopping Donald Trump from getting anything done relatively compared to what he wanted to get done is the fact that every single day the oxygen is sucked out of the room because of his scandals.
Right. It's that, but it's also that he has Trump has the bar set not to achievement, not to implode. Well, I would say to the impression of achievement. Right. The best thing that Trump did was throw a party for not repealing and replacing Obamacare. Right, like this is a person who only lives on the surface, right? Yeah. I mean, the House passes a bill that's not going anywhere,
and they throw a party.
And they throw a party for it. Mike Pence, I promise you, does not throw that party.
Right.
And the fact that he threw the party is part of what's going to make it harder to actually do it, right? The general confusion. I thought we already did this among a lot of people, but two, the Senate looks at it and says, "My God, this is not how the Republicans say this is not how we do things."
Right.
Right. You know, the fact that he only wants to do this as a reality TV show, right, is better than somebody who can actually do it. That said, if he ends up, I mean, he can make up these ridiculous but not impossible scenarios with nuclear wars and various other horrible things. That risk is higher, right? So, like, the possibility of utter destruction is higher, but the possibility that he's going to get
how
done
much
these
higher?
Like Pence, I think,
because we really have to let's weigh this in the balance.
Nuclear war, that might be too much.
We have to weigh this in the balance because I think our institutions are strong enough, and thank God our institutions are strong enough to survive Donald Trump. If we put someone like Mike Pence in, however, he's going to be able to work seamlessly within our institutions to get done what he wants to get done. And the agenda that he has on social issues, combined with the agenda that Paul Ryan has on economic issues, would take a generation. I mean, this is no hyperbole. It would take a generation to undo the damage that a President Mike Pence would do. So we really have to ask ourselves the question: do we want him to be impeached?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I would still stand by that the apocalypse percentage is higher with Trump, but all the other. Every other level of terribleness is increased by
Pence. Well, here's the other thing.
He could also be president for like 10 years, Like,
who?
Pence.
Oh, Mike Pence.
Yes. That's the horror.
Yes,
Can you imagine what he could do to LGBT rights, what he could do to abortion? I mean,
to the Supreme Court would be
RBG is not going to live.
Yeah.
Or she's not going to be 10 years from now. God willing, she will.
But likely the odds are not in her favor.
There's a lot of people. I mean, and hopefully if somehow this happened, he would lose the election. But in theory, you put him in now, that's 11 years, potentially, of destroying all of these achievements.
Listen, we would go from the Supreme Court having some measure of balance to the Supreme Court being 100% conservative. I mean, well, not 100%, because you have some, Kagan, you have some of the younger, but, we're
10 years is a long time.
10 years is a long time, and his agenda his agenda should be so terrifying to Democrats. So here's a question we have to ask ourselves. I think they've already had these conversations in their head, right? They know what it means to have a President Mike Pence. Do you think that they realize that we aren't going to be able to get rid of Trump, but we can slow him down by constantly screaming impeachment, by constantly pointing out every scandal? The Republicans are never going to really take the bait. Or you think they're playing a tough, a really dangerous game? The Democrats,
Yeah, I mean, I having seen the Democrats operate over the last...
You don't think they're that competent?
I have really, I mean, their level of competence is higher than what we're seeing, in Trump's meeting with the Russians.
Right.
But, I mean, I have trouble, talk talk about like not playing any dimensional chess, right? I mean, like the way that the Democrats have strategized, quote unquote.
Strategery.
No,
It's not a strategy. It's strategery, my
right.
I have
trouble. I mean, I have trouble believing that this is planned out. I do think there's a knowledge and an understanding that Pence poses certain dangers, but maybe I'm just cynical, right? My temptation is to view it in the other side, that it's not like a long-term strategy to keep Trump around. It's just that they can keep scoring points.
Yeah.
Right. And raising money, right? This is the thing. Trump has been tremendous for a number of really great liberal causes and candidates, right?
Yeah.
And so they're priming them, right? They're just sucking
they're
the money out of it.
running this. They're taking it to the hills. They're making all the hay they possibly can.